Introduction to the principle of environmental awareness. Environmental awareness is the process of being aware of our natural environment and making choices that an individual can do that benefit the earth rather than to harm. This determines a lot of aspects such as the complex internal relationship of human and his total human impact on the environmental achievement of knowledge and skill related in solving environmental problems and sensitive towards the environmental problems and the willingness of human to get involved in the national and international policies to solve these problems. Yung environmental awareness daw is parang naka-involve dito yung understanding natin sa natural environment at yung decision natin sa mga choices na nagbe-benefit sa ating earth kung nakakasakit ba to o hindi. Tsaka ito din ay why is this so important? This is because most of environmental issues are the outcomes of an individual way of living, such as improper waste management that leads to pollution, population explosion that can lead to industrial and urbanization. So, means environmental awareness is crucial because of many environmental problems arise from individual action and lifestyle. Improper waste management causes pollution, while population growth contributes to industrial and urbanization, further stressing the environment. Through the advancement of our science and technology, it has a great effect on the culture and society. Its effect on the environment can be either positive or negative. Since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution and the rapid growth of population in the whole world, the impact of government has also grown. Management 3 R's. First one is the reduce. We should practice using our natural resources wisely in order for us to reduce this generation waste. Then the second one is reuse, defined as using again a waste product for the same purpose, most especially to our solid waste such as bottle, plastic and bags, old clothes and other things that it can be used again. Then lastly, the recycle reprocessing used materials to make a new product. Recycling our solid waste products have a great impact not only on the people health but also to our environment. Practicing these 3 R in waste management will save the lives of all living organisms here on earth. Through this, you can prevent air and land and water pollution, and most especially the deterioration of the natural environment, which includes global loss of biodiversity, depletion of natural resources, natural disaster, and many others.
The ecological footprints. Many people in developing or poor countries struggle to survive, and most of them are from Africa, Asia, and Latin America. Their individual use of resources and the resulting environmental impact is low and is devoted mostly to meeting their basic needs. In contrast, many individuals in more wealthy or rich nations consume large amounts of resources way beyond their basic needs because of their so many possessions in life and maybe because of the influence of this modern world. From the very beginning of human society, is dependent on nature in order to live and survive. With every breath we take, we depend on the quality of the air, the purity of the water, and the richness of the biodiversity around us. Nature and its resources are an integral part of our social and economic systems, and many research increasingly shows nature's vital importance to our health, well-being, food, and security. The welfare of human society is highly dependent on these resources, and in order for us to quantify the size of our dependence in nature, we tend to compute or account our ecological footprints. The ecological footprint tells us how much nature we use. The biocapacity indicates how much nature we have. Both are measured in terms of biologically productive areas and expressed in global hectares.
Biocapacity is the ability of ecosystems to renew themselves. Biologically productive areas of Earth provide this service, while the ecological footprint measures the amount of biological productive land and sea are required to produce all resources that population consumes and to absorb its waste. Taking every technological advances into account, competing demands for nature include food, fiber, timber, accommodation of roads and buildings, and sequestration of carbon dioxide from fossils fuel burning. Ecological footprint: the amount of biologically productive land and water needed to supply the water and particular country or area with resource and to absorb and recycle the waste and pollution produced by such resource use. The per capita ecological footprint is the average ecological footprint of an individual.
Scientific principles of sustainability. How can we attain environmental sustainability? According to environmental researchers or scientists, we should study how life on Earth has survived and adapted to major changes in environmental conditions for billions of years. We could make the transition to more sustainable societies by applying these lessons from nature to our lifestyles and economies. Reliance on solar energy. The sun or solar capital warms the planet and supports photosynthesis used by plants to provide food for themselves and for us and most other animals. So, reliance on solar energy, it involves in utilizing sunlight as a primary source of power for various applications such as electricity generation and heating, which can reduce the dependence on fossil fuels. For example, a household that installs solar panels on its roof can harness solar energy to power its appliance and reduce its carbon footprint, contributing to a more sustainable energy future. Next is biodiversity or biological diversity. The outstanding variety of different organisms, the genes they contain, the ecosystems in which they exist, and the natural services they provide have yielded countless ways for life to adapt to changing environmental conditions throughout the Earth's history. Biodiversity or biological diversity refers to the variety of life forms on Earth, including the diversity of species, ecosystems, and genetic variations within species. For example, a tropical rainforest, which hosts thousands of plants and animal species like the Amazon rainforest, it exemplifies high biodiversity and plays a crucial role in maintaining ecological balance and providing essential services such as carbon storage and oxygen production. The third is population control. It is a competition for limited resources among different species, places a limit on how much their populations can grow. Population control, it refers to the strategies and policies implemented to manage the growth and size of a population to ensure sustainable resource use and environmental balance. For example, a family planning programs that provide education and access to contraceptives can help reduce birth rates in developing countries, just like Philippines, thereby alleviating pressure on local resources and improving overall quality of life. And the last is nutrient cycling. It's a natural process recycle chemicals that plants and animals need to stay alive and reproduce. There is little or no waste in natural systems.
Using the four scientific principles of sustainability to guide our lifestyles and economies could somehow help us bring about an environmental or sustainability revolution during your lifetime and to improve it more for the future generation. How much is enough in order for us to take some actions in attaining environmental sustainability. There is no such things as enough as long as we live and still survive for this time, maybe because of what culture believes that we have. For most of the scientific evidence indicates that we have perhaps 50 years and no more than 100 years to make such crucial cultural changes. If this is correct, during this century, we could come to a critical fork in the road, at which point we will choose a path toward sustainability or continue on our current unsustainable course. Everything you do or do not do will play a role in our collective choice of which path we will take. One of the goals that we want to attain is a realistic environmental vision of the future that, instead of immobilizing you with fear, gloom, and doom, will energize you by inspiring realistic hope that everything is possible in attaining environmental problems. An environmental comprises both living and non-living components. Human action in industrial revolution or globalization are the major lawbreaker on continued change in our global environment nowadays. Environmental pollution. This is the introduction of any harmful substances or any form of energy into the environment, which is called pollutants. Pollutants can be natural or caused by human activities. They can damage the quality of air, land, and water. Under environmental pollution, there are three major types of pollution. 1. Air pollution. 2. Land pollution. And 3. Water pollution. Effects of air pollution on human health. The World Health Organization considers air pollution as the major threat to human health. Scientific studies also shows that air pollution linked to a variety of human health problems such as respiratory and cardiovascular disease, decreased lung function, increased susceptibility to respiratory infections, and there are also effects on the nervous system. It may also cause cancer and premature death. Acid rain. Pure rainfall is usually slightly acidic because the water reacts with the atmospheric carbon dioxide. When the water reacts with a higher than the normal amounts of nitric and sulfuric acid in the atmosphere, its pH level will become lower than the normal, which is referred to as acid rain. This can be formed from both natural resources such as volcanoes and decaying vegetation, and man-made resources. Emissions of sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides. Population growth. Our population increases by 1.13% per year. Thus, it results in a number of issues. Due to overpopulation, our freshwater ecosystem or any other type of ecosystem are usually destroyed and converted into something that they can build their houses. This 201 Science, Technology, and Society, or STS JEC 6. Isabela State University will further result to habitat loss for wildlife animals and overuse of our natural resources. Deforestation. This is the permanent removal or cutting of trees in the forest. Our forests consist of thousands of plant species, and it provides shelter to our wildlife animals. These trees also absorb carbon dioxide, mitigating greenhouse gas emissions produced by human activities. When these trees are cut or permanently removed, it will not only affect the animal living in the forest, it also affects human and the community as a whole, such as flood, soil erosion, extinction of plant and animal species, and even species extinction. How to solve environmental problems. We are currently facing a number of environmental issues. Our climate, our lives, and future of the human civilization are all at risk if we don't do something with all these issues. If we make simple steps and adjustments in our daily routine, we can still restore, help, and maintain our environment. We can still save and prepare the future of our next generation. There are a lot of things we can do within our home. We can practice the 3 Rs in waste management. We can replace using disposable items with the reusable ones. Conserving water and electricity could be a big help already. Moreover, it is very important for us to participate or volunteer ourselves in tree planting.
Major environmental laws. Number 1 is Republic Act 9003 or Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000. This law ensures the proper segregation, collection, storage, and treatment and disposal of solid waste through the formulation and adaptation of best eco-waste products. Republic Act 9003 or the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act is a law in the Philippines that requires proper waste segregation, recycling, and disposal to protect the environment. For example, ang barangay must implement a materials recovery facility or MRF where residents bring sorted waste like plastics, paper, and food scraps. Number 2 is Republic Act of 9275 or Philippine Clean Water Act of 2004. This law aims to protect the country's water bodies from pollution from industries and commercial establishments, agriculture, and community activities. It also provides comprehensive and integrated strategy to prevent and minimize pollution through a multi-sectoral and participatory approach involving all stakeholders. For example, factories are required to treat their wastewater before releasing it into rivers to prevent water contamination. 3 is the Republic Act of 8749 or the Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999. This law aims to achieve and maintain clean air that meets the national quality guidelines values for criteria pollutants throughout the country while minimizing the possible associated impacts to the economy. This law aims to reduce air pollution by regulating emissions from vehicles and industries. For example, vehicles must undergo regular emission testing to ensure they do not release harmful smoke into the air. And 4th is the Republic Act of 6969 or Toxic Substances, Hazardous and Nuclear Waste Control Act of 1990. This law aims to regulate or prohibit the importation, manufacture, processing, sale, distribution, use, and disposal of chemical substances and mixtures that present unreasonable risk to human health. It likewise prohibits the entry, even in transit, of hazardous and nuclear waste and their disposal into the Philippine territorial limits for whatever purpose, and to provide advancement and facilitate research and studies on toxic chemicals. It is a law that regulates the use, import, and disposal of toxic and hazardous materials to protect human health and the environment. For example, companies must safely store and label chemical waste to prevent leaks and could harm people or ecosystems. And the last is the Presidential Decree of 1586 or the Environmental Impact Statement or EIS. It is a statement of 1978. This is a planning and management tool that helps the government, decision makers, the proponents, and the affected community addresses the negative consequences or risks of the environment. On the environment. It requires projects that may affect the environmental to undergo assessment before approval. For example, a company planning to build a mining site must submit an EIS to show how the project could impact the land and water and communities nearby.